So good morning everyone. Today we shall see unit 5, that is numerical integration and solution of ordinary differential equation. So here we use numerical methods. Ordinary differential equations already you have solved in your first in M1. In your M1 Engineering Mathematics 1 subject already solving ordinary differential equations we have seen. But now here we solve them using numerical methods. Why do we need numerical methods here? Because of the availability of computers is one thing. The second one is all the equations or differential equations which we form or which we have or which we see cannot be solved by the theoretical methods. We can solve some, but some of them cannot be solved. So we need, for in such cases, we need some other numerical methods in order to get the solutions. So that is the importance of numerical methods here. So in 5th unit we will be seeing numerical integration and numerical differentiation, means solving a differential equation using numerical method. So what do you mean by numerical integration here? So the process of evaluating a definite integral from a set of tabulated values of the integrand f of x is called numerical integration. Simply it is evaluating a definite integral for a given function f of x and calculating the tabular values. So under numerical integration we have here 3 important formulae. First one is trapezoidal rule. Second one is Simpson's one-third rule. Simpson's one-third rule. Third one is Simpson's 3/8 rule. Simpson's 3/8 rule. So sometimes even these two together can be called as Simpson's rules, or simply Simpson's one-third rule is also called as Simpson's rule. Simpson's rule. So Simpson's one-third rule is also called as Simpson's rule. Simply we can call it as, but we can't call it Simpson's 3/8 cannot be called as Simpson's rule. Simpson's rule or Simpson's one-third rule mean the same. That is the other name. So what does these rules say? So what we do here is, what is numerical integration? It is process of evaluating a definite integral. Suppose we have to evaluate integral a to b f of x dx. So here we, from a set of tabulated values of the integrand. So you will be given an interval, you have to divide the interval according to the rule. So now for trapezoidal rule here, we have to divide the interval AB into any number of intervals. For trapezoidal rule, interval AB can be divided into any number of subintervals. Any number of subintervals. So Simpson's one-third rule. One-third rule. So interval should be divided into even number of intervals. Even number of subintervals. Simpson's 3/8. So interval should be divided into multiples of 3. Even means here 2, multiples of 2. So here it is multiples of 3. Multiples of 3. So what is numerical integration here? We have to divide the given interval into a subintervals. So from a set of tabulated values. So how we get here set of tabulated values? So integral a to b, lower limit is a, upper limit is b, So we have to divide. You will be given a function f of x, x and f of x. Whatever is the lower limit, we start with that. A, suppose we call it as, if we divide the interval here, starting from A, we end with B. In between, number of subintervals. How many subintervals should be there is decided by the formula. Into how many intervals I have to divide the interval AB into subintervals is decided by trapezoidal rule, Simpson's rule, 3/8 rule in a different way. So as I told you, the number of subintervals. Here for trapezoidal rule you can have any number of subintervals. Suppose if you want to divide here, the formula what we use for number of subintervals is h is equal to b minus a by n. So this is spacing of the subinterval. Spacing of subinterval. So with what distance or with what space we are taking each subinterval is h. B automatically they will give you in the problem b minus a by n is number of subintervals. Number of subintervals. Into how many subintervals you want to divide is n. Suppose you want to divide b minus a with 8 subintervals. So n is 8. So now depending upon the value of n means number of subintervals, you will get the tabular values. So now trapezoidal rule, any number of subintervals means for trapezoidal rule, number of subintervals. So minimum we start with 6. Let us start with 6 minimum subintervals. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on. For trapezoidal rule, number of subintervals. So this is number of subintervals. You can't divide as you like. Depending upon the formula, you have to take the number of subintervals. Formula will decide the number of subintervals. So for trapezoidal rule, you can divide the interval AB into any number of subintervals. So I will start minimum with 6. Minimum 6 subintervals is required here. So for Simpson's 1/3 rule, Simpson's 1/3 rule. So number of subintervals. What does it say? Even number of subintervals. So in general we don't start with 2 or 4. Let us start with 6. Even numbers starting with 6. 8, 10, 12, 14, etc. Because it is applicable for even number of subintervals. Next, Simpson's 3/8 rule. Simpson's 3/8 rule. Number of subintervals. What does it say? Number of subintervals should be multiples of 3. Multiples of 3 means I will start with 6. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12, 3 5s are 15, 18, etc. So these are the number of subintervals for 3 different rules. I am taking minimum 6 subintervals. So now see what is the suppose they will ask you a problem using trapezoidal rule, Simpson's 1/3, Simpson's 3/8 rule. Evaluate integral a to b f of x dx. So for a single f of x, you have to apply 3 rules. Applying 3 rules means you have to see the common number of subintervals. So what is the intersection of all these 3? Intersection is here 6. You have 6. Next, what is the other number common for all these 3? It is only 12. 12. Next, automatically 18. So if you want to apply for a single function f of x in order to evaluate integral a to b f of x dx, all these 3 formulae at a time. So what is the number of subintervals you have to take? 6 or 12 or 18. So we don't go for 12. In general, we go for 6. Suppose you want to apply for trapezoidal and Simpson's 1/3. So what is the intersection here? For trapezoidal and Simpson's 1/3, Trapezoidal rule, minimum we are starting with 6. See the intersection of these two. Even number 6, 8, 10, 12, so on. Next, intersection of Simpson's 1/3 and 3/8 rule. So what is the intersection of these two? 6, 12, 6, 12, 15, etc. Multiples of 2 and 3. LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So third table. So here 2 and here 3. So we get here common. So here we get 18, not multiples of 6. 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12, 6 threes are 18. So if you want to apply Simpson's 1/3 and 3/8 at a time to evaluate this integral, making tabular values. So these are the intervals which you have to take. First you have to decide how many subintervals you are going to take. So here now you will get the tabular values. So depending upon the intervals, you will get here x0, x1, x2, so on, xn. Correspondingly, you will get y1, y2, y3, so on, yn. This is how you have to apply the respective formulae. So now we shall see the formulae for trapezoidal rule and Simpson's 1/3 rule and Simpson's 3/8 rule. So formula goes on like this. So you have to remember the number of subintervals which we have to take for different rules. Different rules or combination of these two or combination of 3 or combination of any two. Just see the intersection of the intervals.